All right, welcome to the walkthrough of AIDA Resort. And basically, this is what it would look like if you are arriving without a car. Basically, you would take this little walkway down the side of the security office. And each of the little areas of this build are actually done. So you can see that there's a parking lot area. I won't really show you that, but that area is complete. The little security area is also complete. But we will continue on as though we're crossing the little crosswalk past the parking area. And because I'm kind of flaky, I forgot to, and I will have forgotten to show the upper floors while we're walking through. So occasionally you'll see me make them appear. But this is what it looks like when you're arriving, basically. And so whether you drive or whether you're a pedestrian, you would come around to the quote-unquote elevators. And I apologize. I don't know what happened. My footage of this is gone, but I took pictures. So here's some pictures of the lobby. And so here's what it would be like after you check in. And as you can see, the elevators are just right there. And so we'll head into this little area. And one of the things I like about some hotels is that they will offer a place for you to keep your luggage. Sometimes you arrive early, you can't check in, and it's nice to have a place to keep luggage. So I definitely want to have a place like that. And so this little walkway, this is something that I've actually done before with another hotel called Soda Hotel, which I really, really, really love. It's one of my favorite one of my favorite builds that I've ever done. I really like the idea of having this kind of see-through walkway. The problem with that hotel is that basically it was, okay, so here, as you could see before, when you're walking over it, it's just greenery. Nobody's walking down there. But at for the one that I did for Sora Hotel, unfortunately, yeah, people, if you were wearing a dress or a skirt, people could be walking underneath and, they could upskirt you. So it's not a really good design. But here it works better because nobody can be walking underneath. So just now we were able to see a view from the balcony on this is not the public floor. Actually, this is the second floor. And the lobby is actually on the second floor. You have to go to the lobby in order to get to the first floor in any case. You have to kind of go through that little hallway where there are some stairs, or you can also use the elevator to reach the guest rooms. And so as you can see, there's a little area for people to go get some refreshments, also a place for people to wash their clothes. I just wanted to make sure that this seemed like a complete resort. Like if you came to stay for some time, you'd want to make sure that you had all your needs covered. And that's just one of the things I kept in mind while I was doing this build. So this is the first of the guest rooms we'll take a look at. This one is the single room. I like traveling alone. I don't know about you guys. Sometimes I just want to be by myself. So even if it's a nice place, most times I'll get a double bed, but those rooms are typically more expensive. So I just wanted to make sure that if you did have a single sim and you use this lot as like a rental lot, there was a nice place for your sim to sleep if you didn't want them to take the double suite. All right, and I really, really like the rooms that I did this time. I don't know what I was inspired by, but for some reason, they really, really speak to me. I enjoy the Dream Home Decorator items a little bit too much. I like them second to Spa Day. I'm pretty sure those are my two favorite packs. And so I really like using those items. In any case, we'll go here. We'll just see there's a little toilet. For the double rooms, I always like to make sure that, how can I put this? Of course, if you're sharing a room with a sim, chances are they won't be shy around each other to be naked or whatever around each other. But sometimes I just like to make sure that there's a place for people to pee where they don't have to worry about walking in on other people, or they can just use the, what do you call this thing? The sink, without having to walk in on people. I like that kind of feature in a hotel. I think it's very practical and very, what's the word I'm looking for? Considerate. Considerate is also considering the needs of a guest is very, very important when you have this kind of place. Okay, and so we'll have a little look on the balcony. All the balconies are basically the same. Some of them are bigger than others. You'll see the one for the suite, if you download this, is much bigger. But these are just all basically typically the same with the same furniture. The suites, I think, have like an extra little seating area with a table, which is pretty cool. And I also wanted to make sure that there were curtains. I know that it's difficult because in The Sims, we don't really have peeping Toms in The Sims, so it really doesn't matter. And sometimes when I do big builds like this, I just don't worry too much about those, what do you call those things? Look, my memory keeps failing for some reason, about using curtains. But I think it's good to allude to the idea of having curtains sometimes. And also because the curtains kind of stick out like from the window and they kind of cut through the bed sometimes, or they cut through the sofa sometimes. It's kind of annoying. You want to have a build that's kind of small, realistically small. I know that, the typical Sims builds are like huge, and that's part of the reason why. Otherwise, everything's clipping through, other things. So, but yeah, so here is the kind of master suite. I like this room the least. I think a lot of the furniture, my idea of what I wanted to do, I was able to do, but it didn't come together as well as I hoped it would. Let's just put it that way. So I like the overall idea of the room, but I can't say, I mean, if I could do some color swatching, I would. Let's just put it that way. So this one's probably my least favorite room. I like the bathroom a lot though. But yeah, my vision, I don't know what to say. I had a vision for this room, and I don't think I really hit the mark. But I enjoy the bathroom a lot. And actually, I don't know what happened with the mirror. Sometimes when you use the move tool, if you touch the item that you moved, it moves back into the original placement that the Sims game wants it to be. So maybe that's what happened. I'm not sure if I ever fixed it. I apologize if I didn't, because this should already be on the gallery. So yeah, I apologize if you just, go into the room and it's so beautiful, and then all of a sudden you notice that the one mirror, your Sim can't really, actually your Sim should be able to look into it, but they shouldn't be able to look into it because it's so high. I don't understand why they made it so high. Okay, anyway, so now we're on the first floor, and we're taking the elevator, the quote-unquote elevator, to the first floor, and the first place we'll look at on the public floor is the restaurant. And so again, this is what it would be like if you were kind of, checking your reservation or whatever. And then you come into the main room, and I wanted to make sure that it felt like there was some privacy. So you'll see there are a lot of dividers, and also the chairs are very high. But it's kind of silly at the same time, because I have like a lot of seating where it's not just two people. It's like, well, am I really expecting groups to be here? But I think actually the more you look at this place, the more it kind of feels like a swinger's paradise. So maybe, couples are kind of hooking up, because there are a lot of places where there are 4 seats, and it's like, it's not for families and it's supposed to be for couples. So I don't know who I'm expecting is going to be using these 4-seat tables, but it is what it is. Okay, so moving on into, obviously that was a pool area. And so moving on into the next area here is the gym. And all these areas on the first floor are connected. So the idea is that, again, there are no children here. People are just kind of walking around. And I kind of figured, yeah, they're probably going to be kind of naked or very scantily clothed at many points, especially on the first floor, because most of the areas are places where you're just not wearing a lot of clothes. We have, except for the restaurant, we have the pool. We have, of course, this little fitness center. We have the spa, which we're coming up on right now. And we'll also have like a little outdoor jacuzzi area. So, I mean, I just don't expect people are wearing very many clothes. So moving on through here, this little area I like quite a bit. Recently, I've been doing a lot more work with lights, using colors with the lights to try to get the kind of look or kind of atmosphere. And again, making sure to keep the areas kind of well separated, well divided, just in case people do want, a little bit of privacy. So you'll see there are a lot of dividers and things, but also a lot of nice colors throughout the build to help separate the little areas and the little rooms and things. It's kind of useful. Yeah, so I like this little blue area. It feels like you're underwater a little bit. It's kind of cool. Okay, and so that's obviously where you would check into the fitness center. Maybe I have a little ticket or something for a discount. I don't know. Okay, so anyway, so this is moving on into the little outdoor area where we have the jacuzzi and the jacuzzis, and we have the hot spring. And so of course we want to make sure people follow the rules. But I suppose that most people would either be in a robe if they're down here, or maybe just in their bathing suit, underwear, or just naked. And the idea is that they are barefoot. At some point they take off their shoes and they just be walking around on this little area here. There is a space for them to sort of take a shower and change. But I also assume that I think it would have been better if I had some kind of basket or something here for them to keep their belongings, because when would they change? I'm not exactly sure. But there is an area to change down here if they just go past this area. And I did want it to feel a little bit more like a place where you could socialize if you wanted to. So there is a bar And I suppose the bar would serve like little appetizers and things like that, so you could sit and eat. There's a bathroom here, so you don't have to worry about going to use one of the public bathrooms. Inside, after you've already sort of, are in the mood, right? You don't want to go too far. You don't want to have to get dressed again. So you can just go to one of those little, you can just stop in that public washroom right there. And as you can see, there's all these little jacuzzi areas where people can have a good time. I don't know if I show it, but the area that's a little bit off the screen just now. Oh yeah, looks like we're gonna walk in there. That's where the showers are, so that you make sure that your Sims don't make the hot spring dirty. And some lockers, it just seemed to make sense to put some lockers there because people would want to have a place to keep their valuables if they just so happen to take them down from their hotel rooms. Alright, so I like this little area. It's so cool. I know it's not necessary to walk back through it, but I like the atmosphere a lot. I think this is the highlight of the build, so I really did want to show it off from both sides. So we're just gonna walk right back to the front, and you may have noticed that basically the restaurant is very close by. It's kind of like a public area. I think when I was building it in the first place, I had that idea in mind, but the more I built it, the more I realized, I don't know exactly who is going to be here. It's probably just swingers. And I should have turned it to night. This is supposed to be the nightclub, which is not open during the day, so I'm not sure why I'm showing it with daylight, but this is what the nightclub looks like. It's probably the area that I spent the least time on. I just wanted to have there be a place for recreation, basically. Another place for your Sims to go and make it feel a little bit more like a resort. But that wasn't one of the things I was the most excited about. So anyway, that is AIDA. That's the front view. Here's the top-down view on the first floor. Here's the second floor. And the third floor, which is basically identical without the lobby. And the third floor also has the nightclub. And this is my favorite shot. It's the back, but I like it better than the front. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy, and I hope to see you again in another video.